Welcome to Server Operating Systems Deployment Roles. We are going to configure a deployment role on a server operating system, in this case Server 2019, in anticipation of an enterprise environment that will facilitate implementation of integrated solutions and infrastructure. So when you log in, you're going to use the Google Chrome and Gmail account provided, and in the upper right corner you should see an option for Chrome Remote Desktop. If you've logged in correctly, you'll see that. You should see at least one system on the screen with the name of the system that you configured. You're going to select that and enter the PIN code provided, typically your student ID, or you may have configured something different. And click on the screen. To get started, you're going to have to expand the Chrome Remote Desktop connection options pane on the right side and select press Ctrl-Alt-Delete. We may go full screen later, but for now we're just going to go to log in. You're going to have to click into the box in order for the keystrokes. If you start typing, it won't come in here. So I'm going to log in. And the first thing that happens is that Server Manager opens up. One of the things that we've discovered over the years is that if any utility or feature or function is engaged, unless it's run as admin, sometimes there are misfires. We're going to use Server Manager, but this opens automatically when you log in onto a server operating system, Microsoft's server operating system. So we're going to close this, and we're going to locate it on the Start menu, right-click it with the mouse, select More, and then Run as Administrator. It's very important to do this because a lot of changes simply don't work or don't take effect properly unless this is also true for command prompts or for PowerShell windows. You want to run those as admin when you open them up. Alright, so one of the things that we're going to do is implement a common role that most servers in a client-server context will need in order to be able to host applications and to share files. That's the basic file server role. This is a deployment role, a formal deployment role. So we're going to select Add Roles and Features. A wizard will start. We're going to select Next, and we're going to say Role-Based or Feature-Based Installation. We're going to select our own server that's listed. So in this case, Polaris is the interest. In some windows you may have more than one server. We're going to go ahead and add file server. You'll see that the box is already kind of selected, so we're going to expand on this, and we're going to check the box that simply says file server. You can select DFS for replication if you want redundant failover file server capability, clustered file services, so DFS. There's also another nice option for NFS if you're working with a variety of clients in the client-server context. A lot of times NFS is used, but we're going to just select file server. We'll click Next. We're going to leave the options for features unchanged. When you select a role, it automatically selects the appropriate features. But this is a screen where you can add additional options, and there are some interesting options that can be associated with a role, and you just if you want additional features and functionality, this is where you could find them. I'm going to click Next. We're going to check the box that says restart the destination server automatically if required. And then we're going to answer yes. If a restart is required, the server restarts automatically without additional notifications. And we're going to click install. At this point, a progress bar is going to show at the top. And it usually doesn't take very long to enable a built-in role. And this is one aspect of the extensibility of Microsoft Server operating system. There's a lot of built-in roles. So you can see here that it says installation succeeded on Polaris. That's what we want. We want to click the close. And in this case, you'll notice that File and Storage Services is green. It's shown here. You might also notice some red on your dashboard, your Server Manager dashboard. You can click into here and get additional information on the Google Update service was stopped. That's not a critical thing. We're going to say OK. And here we're going to say Google Update service stopped. Once again, I'm going to basically just leave this for now. We're using Google Chrome Remote Desktop in order to broker the connections remotely. It uses HTTPS. It's a TLS connection. It's encrypted with a secure certificate so that we don't expose ports needlessly on the remote connection. Later on, we'll show you how to clear these for other messages. Right here, you'll see a notification. It said that the installation succeeded on Polaris. That's just another notification in the upper right corner. At this point, you're free to close this, and you can start using the features and functionality of the server immediately if a reboot isn't required, or after a reboot if it's triggered. In general, it's a good idea to reboot the system anyway. Sometimes you add or change a role while users are on the system, which is why it doesn't automatically restart it. In this case, because we're just beginning our configurations, we're going to go ahead and restart the server. When we restart the server, we're going to select Power and then Restart. We're going to use the pull down to select Other and Planned. So we weren't doing hardware maintenance or operating system work, but we're going to go ahead and select Other Planned and then Continue. The system will go ahead and in just a moment you'll see a change, and in fact the screen may be unresponsive like it is right now, and that's because the moment that hits until the server breaks the connection, the window doesn't update. So now you see we're back at Chrome Remote Desktop. We can reconnect in a moment or two after the server restarts and continue with whatever work is needed. This concludes our session on a sample of a server role. Thank you for your time. Please contact the instructor promptly if you have any other questions.